What's going on, Star Wars fans? Welcome to today's Star Wars Theory. My name is John Solo, and we have got a particularly exciting topic to discuss. Kylo Ren's lightsaber, since its debut in the first teaser trailer for Episode 7, has been pretty much exclusively a hit with audiences. Longtime fans rejoiced upon its reveal, as there has always been some debate about whether or not the traditional lightsaber design truly made sense. I realize that mostly everyone is aware of this by now, but for those of you who aren't, there's a reason that most swords throughout history have had some form of structure around the handle, and that's to decrease the number of hand injuries / number of hands lost in battle. Looking back at some of history's most famous swords and sword designs, almost all of them had some form of hand protection, and you can probably tell where I'm going with this. Up until The Force Awakens, we had never seen a lightsaber with this type of design in the films. We did get sort of close with Dooku's lightsaber, but clearly he was missing some key components. The thing is, even with the vast majority of the expanded universe being wiped out, there is a lot more to the Star Wars universe than we see in the films. And as it turns out, lightsabers were not always built so illogically. It turns out that Kylo Ren's lightsaber is based on a several thousand-year-old design that dates back all the way to the Great Scourge of Malachor. Unfortunately, all we know about that event is that it was some form of conflict on Malachor, but there were Sith there with lightsabers designed in the same fashion as Kylo's. And yes, that's canon. Now, while this does provide some explanation for why the hilt of Ren's lightsaber looks the way it does, there seems to be a bit more to it than that, and to fully understand it, we're gonna have to take a closer look at the lightsaber and take it apart. That was a really long intro. So like I said, the design of Kylo's lightsaber is based on a really old design, and I'm not sure exactly why they ever changed it. I have my own theory on this, but I would need to do some more research on what canon events took place before the events of the prequels to really flesh out that theory. Regardless of that though, it turns out there is another reason for Kylo's lightsaber having a crossguard. The kyber crystal inside of his lightsaber is cracked. That's right. Cracked. That's why the weapon looks so makeshift and unstable, and why it sounds how I would imagine a live electrical wire being swung around like a lasso in a cartoon would sound. So it doesn't really matter that the design was inspired by Sith throughout history, because the crossguards serve another purpose, and that's to keep his lightsaber stable. Because for those who don't know, the crystals used inside of lightsabers are extremely powerful and contain immense energy. They're powerful enough that there are legends of Sith using them to power super weapons. Just imagine if the Death Star was powered by a gigantic kyber crystal. Right now, there's really no canon explanation for the pseudoscience behind crystals. Outside of being attuned to the Force, the reason that they're so useful in the construction of lightsabers is because of the unique way that they concentrate energy. This is what results in the lightsaber's plasma blade. With the crack in the crystal in Kylo's lightsaber, the energy concentration is completely thrown off, and the result is what we see in the film. Thank you guys so much for watching today's weird cross between Star Wars Theory and Star Wars Universe 101. I hope you guys learned yourselves a little something to share at the dinner table tonight with the family or the cat. If this shorter theory didn't quench your thirst, I actually made an educational Star Wars video with my buddy Nathan over at Portal Fiction about what would happen if the Starkiller base was powered by our very own sun. Highly recommend you check it out. I appear in hologram form, and it's pretty rad. A link to that video and all the other important links like social medias and sources can be found in the description down below. Before you head out, make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and that subscribe button for weekly Star Wars content. Thank you all again so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.